Fine's ready to go, don't worry. Yeah, Ian, you go Ian and then Pete and then Mike and then Jim, please.
Okay, we're good to make a start?
Yeah.
Okay, Nuno, hello, it's Ian Bolton here at Sky. Are you well?
Well, thank you. I'm okay, thank you.
I'm struggling to hear you. Okay, let me just turn you up a bit. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. Look, lots of players away. João Moutinho played the first match for Portugal, but then didn't play the final two. Was he injured? Has he come back okay? How do things stand with him playing on Monday?
Yeah, some issues. We have some issues. We still have a couple of days, but some of the players, like João and many others, have returned with small problems. That it's always normal to happen in all the teams due to the international break, the traveling, all this disruption. But we have a couple of days to assess and decide for Monday.
With João, what's the nature of the issue?
An injury that didn't allow him to play with Portugal.
Can you expand on that at all?
It's still being assessed. Let's wait. It was in the beginning of the first game. He only made 45 minutes. Was not able to continue for the second half. Since then, he's not in training as normal. Didn't join the group yet, but he's improving.
How would you rate his chances then for Monday? Doesn't sound very promising.
We still have to wait a couple of days.
Okay, and you mentioned one or two others. Can you tell us?
Many others. Unfortunately, I give you only one example here. Pay attention to me. Look, this disruption due to the international break, plus the circumstances that as a society are facing as due to the pandemic, creates a lot of problems. For example, a player that was returning on Wednesday evening. So he arrives at Heathrow at 10 o'clock. Then he has to wait 3 hours to the airport, standing up, waiting like all the passengers that arrive in that flight to make the passport control. So he's 3 hours standing there like everybody else. But the next day you expect him to train. So if he arrives at home at 3 a.m. in the morning, you will not able to sleep. If he's not able to sleep, you cannot work with him in the pitch. If you cannot work with him in the pitch, that delays the preparation of the team because you are not able to put everybody together and prepare the game accordingly. So that's what's delaying. But all managers and all teams are facing these problems. Plus the fact that some of them have played and get knocks and that problem. Some of them were very far from here. Some of them have to make triangles to arrive to the UK with 3 or 4 flights. So all this together creates disruption. So that's why I tell you, we have a lot of problems to assess. We have a lot of issues, but we still have a couple of days to manage and decide.
I mean, how do you feel about things in general? It's not the first time, not the first international break we've had, during the pandemic. But is it worse now? Is this the worst that it's been?
Yeah, it's totally. It's a complete for us, not only for me, for all the teams, for all football, international breaks due to the circumstances. Players don't go to their own countries to play. Some of them go on a flight and they return. Then you get a message from the government saying that their flight in that flight was a passenger that is positive to COVID. So he has to isolate from 10 days. So we have players that are facing these problems. So it's very difficult. But we are aware of that, and that's why there's a hope that things are going back to normal. So that's what must keep us moving and working.
Look, on a positive note, Rui Patricio is available for this match. How much of a plus is that for you?
Yeah, it's very important because in that moment was scary. Everybody was worried. You had to stay here in Wolverhampton from being in observation, being assessed constantly being with the doctor, and that made him not go to Portugal. He didn't join the national team, but now he's okay. He trained well this week, so everything is good, and that is very good news. Because every time there's a situation like that, especially for us, we still have the trauma of before. We get scared.
What does he bring to your team, Nuno?
Sorry.
What does Rui bring to your team?
The same that John Rudy will give us. Confidence, what we expect from our goalkeeper. Confidence, sure that we can count on him when it's necessary. The same that John Rudy.
Daniel Podence, I gather he's back in training as well. He's not played for you for just 2 months now. How far away is he?
He's been able to join parts of the training session. He's progressing well. His injury still limits him in some aspects of the game on his individual actions, but he's improving. And I'm very positive that he will join the squad very, very soon.
Could he feature at some point on Monday or not? Is that too soon?
Like I say, today is Friday. We still have a couple of sessions, Saturday and Sunday, and we will see. We'll see. But Daniel is an important player for us. It's an important player for us. I think he can bring different things to us. So we will try to count on him as soon as possible.
Raul Jimenez met up with Mexico. How important was that for him in his rehabilitation, if you like?
Very, very important. Very, very important. He was delighted to be there. Made sense. They protect him like we are protecting him here, and he's clearly a more positive person. At the same time, all the Mexican teammates have seen him, have been with him, have made all the questions that for sure make. But they saw a good Raul positive, and each day better. Just waiting and being patient on the medical protocols so we can count again with Raul.
The Mexico coach said that he was considering him for the Olympic team in the summer. It would mean, if he did go, that he would miss pre-season with you. How do you feel about that?
With all the respects with the national team coach of Mexico, first it's our decision. First of all, it's our decision. I understand that is positive and want to count with Raul for the Olympic Games, but first we have to be patient here. We have to make the right decisions, not to for any kind of mistake, and respect the doctors.
It sounds like you might not be happy for him to go.
No, it's not about that. First, what I mentioned is what I think I'm clear. First, I think he must join us. The moment that is clear to play for Wolves, then anything can happen. But first, I think he must play for us.
Okay. Listen, what did you do during the international break? Did you get an opportunity to, I don't know, relax? Did you get an opportunity to see your family?
We did what we have to do. Protect ourselves, work. There's no many things we can do, unfortunately.
Look, 9 matches to go. No more international breaks, which I'm sure you're glad about.
Not me, I think everybody.
Yeah, sure. 13th in the table at the moment. What needs to be the aim and the focus for Wolves in these remaining matches?
The same as always. Prepare the game against Monday. The game Monday against West Ham. Prepare it very well, compete and play the game by game. Nothing has changed.
What do you make of West Ham this season? They're just currently outside the top four. What's made the difference, do you think, for them this season?
I think they've been able to compete much better. They have a very good squad. I think they've introduced some good players that gave West Ham as a team more physicality. At the same time, fantastic work from David Moyes.
Do you sense that David Moyes is beginning to make his mark now as West Ham boss?
I think inside the Premier League, all the managers are putting their own idea in the teams. That's what I can see in West Ham. Clearly, they are playing good. They are consistent. They are solid. So we expect a very tough match.
Nuno, thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you.
Nice to speak with you.
Bye.
Hi, Nuno.
Hello.
With respect to David Moyes, he was quite written off after joining Manchester United, and it proved that it just wasn't the club, it wasn't the right fit. And then with tries with Sunderland, Real Sociedad, are you pleased that he's achieving again somebody like David Moyes?
Of course. Like, I'm pleased with all the managers that succeed. I'm pleased.
What do you think? What do you think he's done that's different? Because he had a trial, with West Ham before, and didn't do anything like he's doing now. They are fifth. That's massive for West Ham. What do you think he's doing?
I don't think. I'm sure that football has shown to everybody that is up and downs. We have good moments, bad moments. We react, we bounce back. You need time, you need patience, and you need commitment. I don't know what David Moyes has done, but he's doing well.
What did you learn, or what do you take into this game, having suffered that 4-0 loss back in September?
That we're going to face a very tough opponent, a very good team.
What specifically, though? How did they dismantle you that day?
They were much better than us. We were not so strong defensively, and we didn't play a very good game. But that game was a long, long time ago. The reference from us approaching the match of Monday is not because it's a new team. West Ham is different. Us, we are different. So it was a new challenge. I don't go so much back to prepare the game of Monday. Our reference is more based on the previous performance before the international break.
You like to work. You like to be on the pitch, don't you? Particularly after suffering a loss, or you like to go back out and work. You always say that. Work it out. So how frustrating have the last 10 days been, not having your players there and having to wait before you can do that?
It's a realization of the situation. It's not frustration. And you can take your time and make it useful. And it was useful. At the same time, you have the under-23s that are here. You work with them. We work with the players that were not involved with the national team. Many aspects that you can make your time, instead of waiting and being frustrated, transform it into something useful that can help the team in the remaining part of the season.
Being 13th in the Premier League, Nuno, is that good enough for you?
The table is not the reference. The reference is how we've been able to perform. And we had bad moments in our performances, periods of time that we had issues defensively. Then was the first half, then was the second half. All these things that we have trying to find the balance. But the table It's not the reference. It's how you do things, how you want to keep on improving, how you can find solutions. And I'm positive for the remaining part of the season that we will play good. This is my obsession, to play good football, to compete.
Finally, from me, hopefully fans will be allowed to game soon, possibly a semi-final at Wembley. So it's looking like hopefully we're coming out of this. How bad has it been for you, the pandemic, and how much has it affected this season?
Terrible. The absence of fans is the worst thing that we are suffering. We don't feel it. We don't. The players, especially for the players, you ask me, and I think I can handle all the managers that we can handle. We can handle the situations. We can survive, but the players are suffering. The players are clearly suffering the absence of fans, and not only the absence of fans, the contact of fans after and before the matches, living in society. The players are suffering.
Thanks, Nuno. Good luck Monday.
Hello, Nuno. Just very briefly from me, I know, as we all know, that you work on one game before you look at the next one, but I wonder if the break has given you and the people you work with at the club any time to think about what preparations you need to make for next season, or is it too soon for that?
No, it's not soon. It's not soon. It's the right moment to do it, and it's the right moment to work on that, and that's what we are doing. But we are working on a basis, on a foundation of many doubts, many uncertain aspects. Just to give you an example, Mike, we must choose where we're going to do the preseason. Due to the restrictions and the constant regulation of the red list countries, you cannot predict. You cannot assume that you want to go to this country to make your preseason, because in this city, the surroundings around, for example, 100 k's, there are going to be 2 or 3, 4 teams available for you to play friendlies, even in a tournament. You don't know. So if the indication is to stay in UK, okay, we go for the UK. Last season we were here, but we've been able to go away to play. So if you go to Scotland, around which teams are going to be around for you to play a friendly match? Are you being able to compete in a tournament with 3, 4 good teams on the level that you expect for you to prepare? So we working with all this bunch of doubts and uncertainty makes our decision making very hard. So it takes more time, and it takes plan A, plan B, and even plan C. So us inside of the club, it's the moment to decide, and we'll try to find A, B, and C, so we be prepared for the eventual changes that everybody is suffering in this moment.
I see. So that suggests that normally by this stage you would have those plans pretty much sorted out, would you?
Yes. Pretty much, yes.
And that also suggests that, I mean, hopefully, as Pete was saying, soon these situations will be behind us and we'll get back to something more like normal. But the long-lasting effects for you in the game will have a longer effect than that, then, won't they? If it's going to disrupt pre-season planning, it's going to take effect. They're going to have effects that run well into next season, by the sound of it.
So that's why I think it's basic. It's basic that we'll try to make decision making together. I think one of the most important aspects that us as managers of the Premier League or in the Championship, also all the UK, the LMA try to engage us together so we can prepare instead of going individually. So I'm gonna try the best solution for me, because of let's try to find the solution inside ourselves. So when fans gonna come and return and come back to the stadium, we can present what they expect. It is good football, competitive games, without thinking how was the pre-season and the struggles and the problems that we're going to carry for the next seasons. I truly believe that if we try to find a solution together, going back to examples that I give you to before, Mike, So if we have 3, 4, 5, 6 teams of the Premier League close to each other, maybe we can prepare our season together, because we're gonna be restricted to stay in the UK. So the first step is that.
I see. That's really interesting. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Hi, Nuno. Nuno, you mentioned there about West Ham and David Moyes' job this season. I'm just inquiring. This year he went for the likes of, he brought in Lingard, he brought in Benrahma to go with Jordan Bowen, and probably players that have featured in the last few years like Lanzini, Philippe Anderson, Yarmolenko. They sort of played a lesser role. So David Moyes has really changed the personnel around with this West Ham team as well. And what do you make of that? Because some of the players he left out are really experienced international players.
Yeah, I can see that West Ham has changed, and now we're gonna play a very difficult team. But don't respect Jim. Don't ask me about A, B, or C players of West Ham, because I'm not well qualified to judge the decisions of David. So what I see in front of us Monday is a very good team that we have to compete on.
And I suppose, Nuno, you are on 35 points at the moment with Wolves, and I suppose obviously you're hoping to break into that top 10 by the end of the season. But how quickly do you want to get past that 40-point mark, or all the same?
I don't look at the points. I look, how can I achieve a good game on Monday? And now these 2 days ahead of us, it's a very, very busy days for us to prepare well the game, because we still are receiving players today, arriving players that arrived last night, arriving this morning. So the last thing that we want to think is what we want. What we want is to prepare well Monday.
Thanks, Nuno.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, broadcasters. We'll turn the cameras off there.